Hi, welcome. Welcome to Turkey, actually, and this is a brand new show about what it's like to be an old dad. My daughter Melody is 4 months old, born in this year, 2020, and I'm going to be going through some of the experiences, how it feels to be a dad at this age, and some of the things that are coming across that are quite surprising and quite mind-blowing. Maybe you've got similar experiences. We're a kind of a growing cohort of slightly older dads, I think. Also, it's probably likely to be a statement about what it's like to be of a certain generation. I'm 54 years old and born in the 60s, the prime of life in the last century, I guess, in the 80s and 90s, and I'm already calling that the prime. So what's this? This is being a dad in my 50s, and possibly you're going through something similar. So let's get started without further ado. So what do I want to achieve with this? Well, I guess it's not fully information based. I'm not going to be giving you tips on how to pick up babies and change nappies or how it's the right way to do anything, and more likely how not to do it. But it's an experiential thing. How does it feel? How does it feel? There is stuff out there on YouTube with dads picking up dolls and sort of turning them over and changing their nappies, and if you want some practical advice, that kind of thing's easy to find. There's one I saw called, I think it's called Dad University, with lots of great practical tips and advice for dads. So by all means, if you're looking for information, then I'm not your man. Right, the pregnancy. I don't want to dwell on the pregnancy for too long. It's a time that you could use to prepare yourself for what's coming, to be a dad, and meditate and just look at what can I do to get my mind in shape to be a dad? Well, that in the best of worlds, probably that's what you do. The other thing you could possibly do is what I did, is say, oh, you've only got this much time left to live like this, as if this chapter of freedom and doing whatever you want is coming to an end, and you want to squeeze every last moment of that. I mean, I had friends telling me, okay, you won't understand what it is to be a dad until the baby's born. And I thought, oh, well, okay, then I'll use that as an excuse to not even think about it and just carry on doing what I'm doing and having my precious freedom to do various things at various times, like gaming or drinking beer. And, I can do those things and hurry up and get on with it, because may not have time for them later, which is the case. Yeah, you do not have time for stuff in the same way after having a baby. That is a big reality, because there's lots of things to do around the baby, lots of things to do. Just taking out the nappies is well, let's face it, it's only a few minutes every day, but it's every day. It's every single day, and most of the tasks are every single day. Whole list of tasks that are every single day, repeatedly, several times a day. Yeah. So we get to the 4th of January. One day earlier, on the 3rd, I had begun the project of installing a bath in the bathroom, which was, so got that underway. So that was going to be one of the things, the downstairs bathroom, quite important element of one of the plans for how the house is going to serve us with the baby. So that has been started, and then this is a Saturday, so we're going to the market to get vegetables and everything, and my wife says to me, this is going to be the last day that I come to the market. I'm going to show you where we buy everything, from tomatoes from here and this from there. She has a certain regime, and she's right. I hadn't been paying attention up to now as to where this came from. I'd just really follow her around with the the little trolley thing and loaded up, really. So yeah, she was right. I did need to pay attention. So there I was paying attention to how it was going to be the following week when I was going to come on my own. Because the baby's now due in a month, and so this is she decided this is going to be her last market trip, and she's going to teach me as best she can how to do it and how she'd like it done, more importantly. And that was it. So off we go around the market, we do that. It takes a bit longer than usual, obviously, because of all the teaching, and then we come home. She's tired. Well, that's not unusual. She was having a sleep in the afternoon, so I start to unpack the shopping. She goes for a little sleep, have a little bit of food. About an hour later, she called me and said she's wet the bed. And so I went upstairs, and she was damp, and she was sitting on the toilet and going backwards and forwards, and she was dripping and dripping. And we did suspect that something was up at this point. So called the doctor, and the doctor said, the baby's coming, your water's broken, and you need to get to hospital. Bang, off to hospital we went, in the car, bang, straight off to hospital. The doctor, who'd been dealing with for some time now, she'd been following the pregnancy, said, that's it, it's time, the baby's coming, here we go. Straight into the operating theatre. It was going to be a cesarean because 1 month early, the doctor took the decision that the baby was too small and potentially too dangerous for it to enter the birthing canal and have a natural birth at that time. And so, bang, within the space of an hour, that's it. She was in the operating theatre, and I was outside. A couple of friends came to be with me, and we waited, and suddenly out comes a trolley. I'm beckoned off to this room, really beckoned off to the outside of this room, where there were some sort of Venetian blinds, and then the blinds open weirdly, and looking through, and there's my baby in a sort of a domey thing. I'll show you. And there she is, looking quite vulnerable and quite small, and it's all quite amazing and overwhelming. But still, I'm getting thumbs up from the doctor and thumbs up from the nurses, and they're not putting any extra breathing equipment on the baby. So actually everything seems to be going well. And a little while later, my wife came out of the operating theatre and went to a room. It was a private hospital, so we went to a private room there, and my wife was still coming out of the anaesthetic, and within a very short time, in comes the baby with the nurses. She's been breathing by herself. She's not needed any extra ventilation or any help, and marvellous. She's a fighter, and she's pulled through, and she's a tiny little thing, and there she is in our arms. Wow. And I'm looking at a convention for how to refer to my wife. My wife, it just, yeah, okay. Or mum, she's mum, yeah, or her indoors, a bit English. Anyway, we'll work on that. You get the idea. And then, of course, the little one is, I'm going to use her name, Melody, and because it's a great name. There was never going to be another name. All through, that name came up, and then just didn't even, there wasn't a question. Melody, it struck me great. I thought, yeah, great name, I love it. I remember talking to my mum about it, and she said to me, well, her first reaction was, maybe it's not a strong enough name. Is it not a strong enough name? Then I'm thinking, well, why does a girl need a strong name? I mean, how many strong girls, what should I call her? Bodicea? Or, you know, if we're talking post Channel 4, Boudica. No. Anyway, Melody. And here she is, the wonderful Melody, which she doesn't like the sun in her face too much. Ooh, the wonderful Melody. So that's it. Our beautiful little Melody came to the world. Now, 4 months later, she's doing great. One of the things I wanted to do was put a closing song on this, closing tune, something that's been in my mind, something we've been listening to maybe. And of course, copyright issues. There's some big copyright issues with, as soon as I looked into it, you can't actually just play what you want on YouTube, and rightly so. Yes. So what I decided to do was just create a link at the end to a tune on YouTube that's been on my mind. Not that I necessarily first heard it on YouTube. But anyway, as with most things, you can find it on YouTube, and I create a link, and this is what I'd suggest you listen to next. It would be like the closing, a theme tune, if you like, a theme tune. Use the comments if there's any sort of forum of discussion to be had, if there's a cross-fertilization of ideas about what it means to be an old dad, or any useful tips. If anyone, perish the thought, has got any really useful information, then well, let's hear it. The old dad stuff, if you break that down into letters, ODS, odious, then that may well be some people's reaction to this, and of course you're entitled to that. So if you're one of those people, let's not hear from you in the comments. Thanks very much. I'd rather keep that as a constructive place where people can share ideas and share positive things that they may feel. Right, so I better get this edited sharpish, because Melody's growing up fast. She'll be walking soon, and as far as you're concerned, she's only just been born. So let's get going, and next time I'm going to be sharing with you all the stuff that happened in the first month. Really an eventful month, and quite a steep learning curve, and an amazing time, amazing time. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Okay, a note about this theme tune thing, just a quick note. You have to be so careful these days, don't you? I don't want anyone to read anything too much into the lyrics, or, you know, why I chose a particular song, you know, and underlying messages and what happens if you play it backwards, or anything like that, okay? It's just a feeling. I want to share this song with you, and let's, you know, if you dig deep and find some words in there that are inappropriate to fatherhood, well, you know, disclaimer, maybe I didn't listen carefully enough to the words and I missed them. So it's just a feeling, it's just a song. Enjoy, yeah? Hey, hey. So up here then, is the theme tune this week. Click and enjoy. Down here, well, this is only for the brave, a little bit extra. And over here, subscribe to my channel. See ya. Bye.